Yeah. Is Lama in the building or what? Latin American Motorcycle Association, put your hands up, make some noise for your boy. Kenny Black, the music machine.
What up, brother?
DJ Rala, Lama. You already know Mr. Northeast is in the building. Let's go, Lama. What? Put them hands up. I wanna see L's in the air right now. Put your L's up. Put your L's up. Lama worldwide. Lama worldwide. Let's go. L's up. Everybody L's up. Everybody L's up. Lama. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. From the humble start in Humble Park. 1977 it all began. What? One man, one mission, one dream. That's right. Lama International worldwide. They said it couldn't happen. They said it couldn't be done. 40 years later, we still proving y'all wrong. Latino, Lama, let's go. Brain Hill Street, we riding. Lama, Brain Hill Street, we riding. Lama, Brain Hill Street, we riding. Lama, manos arriba. Brain Hill Street, we riding. Lama, Brain Hill Street, we riding. Lama, Brain Hill Street, we riding. Let's go. Get them hands up.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Hello. Wow, what an honor. What a night. Today, I am surrounded by two awesome people. Three, actually. We can't see one off the screen. We'll see him in a minute. There's his hand. We'll show you who he is in a second. Hey, as with every week, with this signal, we connect over 25 countries around the world with a message of brotherhood that transcends colors, borders, flags, languages, races. You name it, we transcend it. This is the only broadcast station of the Latin American Motorcycle Association. This is your Monday show, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, we change the time a little bit to accommodate for our guests. Normally 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is Lama Station, the English show. As my brother Gringo would say, Gringo style.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I promised y'all today when I told you we were pushing the time a little bit to 7:30 that we had a special guest today. And let me start with the ladies, if I may. We have Alicia Antunes, a.k.a. La Reina del Norte, or the Queen of the North.
Queen of the North.
That's right.
This girl can ride. She has ridden all over the continent and also the South American continent.
Whoop, whoop.
And she is from our own legendary Chicago headquarters chapter. So
That's right.
A big hello to all the brothers out there at headquarters. But Alicia just came with us to Washington, D.C. To the event, the Lama Washington, D.C. anniversary party. I want to thank all those guys for the great event, all the officers and members of Lama Washington, D.C. for the great event that they just celebrated, and also all the members and chapters that showed up to make that a great event. We had an awesome time there. Not only did Alicia ride all the way there on her bike, but she also followed us right here to Detroit, Michigan, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be headed back to Chicago.
That's right. And man, that needs no introduction. Our very own international president.
You forgot to say what is his name.
Mario Nieves. Little old me. Our international president hanging out with us today. And let me say this, guys, personally, forget the fact that we're hosting a show right now. Thank you for joining us here today in the studio. And for you guys that don't know, and everybody kind of knows, the studio is in my house. So having you guys in my home, it's a blessing. It's an honor to have you guys here.
It's our honor to be here.
Leon, I know you got a bad leg, but I need you to stand up for a minute, say hello to the people.
Say hi.
How's it going, everybody?
The third one in our party, Roberto Leon, unfortunately had a serious accident. He's not riding; he's driving the car, and so here we are.
From Santa Isabel, Puerto Rico.
Originally from Santa Isabel, but now riding in the U.S.
That's right. So our brother Leon. And you know what? Let me give you guys, before we start with Alicia, because we got a lot to talk about, Alicia. We have a lot to learn about you. But you know what? Me personally, when you tell people the stories about your experience with Lama, my first two members that I met outside of my chapter, we started here in Detroit. We started near COVID time. So it wasn't a lot of hanging out. It wasn't a lot of meeting other clubs. And when we finally were able to do it towards the end of the year last year, it was in Dallas. It was in Dallas for the 8th anniversary. And the first two people I met in the lobby and that we broke conversations was Alicia and Leon. And You know, so they're my first family, the immediate family that I met outside of our chapter.
And the incredible thing is that to Alicia, like most of us, Dallas, Texas is just a little ride away.
To her, it is.
What do you think?
Alicia, before we
yes,
get into, and we're going to talk to Alicia about a bunch of things, and we're going to give some shout outs to you guys. And let me tell you guys, while we're doing this, if you guys have questions, feel free to type them up on the chat, and we'll try to catch as many as we can. My God, look at this. I'm getting just shout out. San Antonio is here. Puro Sur, that's Chicago South.
Chicago South is in the house.
Alexia Licea says, saludos, Alicia.
Oh, Hilda.
Daniel Santana is also much love from Mid City. That's over there in Middletown. Aguada, Puerto Rico's in the house. Let me see who else we got. Manville. Oh, Fun Size. Haiti.
All right.
Fun Size is in the house. Saludos. Yeah. Oh, wait. You know who's been on our show every week, not failing? Our brother club, the Pulaski boys are here.
All right, Pulaski boys. That's our brothers.
What are we fixing?
Southside of
fixing
Chicago.
the camera a little bit? Go ahead. Fix the camera if you have to. We got Leon in there. We got our studio. We got our producer.
Yeah.
That's all right. And Leo. You guys know Leo. Cindy Marie, Lama Empire is in the house. Roger Turpin, a.k.a. Mr. 305 himself, Gringo, is in the house. Wow, Dallas is in the house represented. Saludos ustedes. April Rodriguez, saludos, cariño. Man, look at all the love. Oh, John Cuevas from Cleveland, Ohio.
Alrighty.
Saludos, hermano.
Gio Medina.
Yeah, y'all know who that is.
All the way from Texas.
And the TikTok community is in the house. So, you know, he is simulcasting this on his TikTok channel.
Excellent.
So not only do we broadcasting through Facebook and YouTube, he is also broadcasting it through his TikTok. Pablo Puga is here. Pablo Puga, ese es el campeón.
Pablo es the World Motor Touring Champion of
International Motor Touring Champion.
World Motor Touring Champion.
Para que me entienda, ¿verdad? El campeón internacional de mototurismo, Pablo Puga.
En realidad se dice el campeón mundial.
Mundial. So, vamos a seguir hablando rapidito. Tenemos, we got Lama Vineland is in the house. Hey, Lucio Garcia, Lama West Michigan, one of our new.
Pame Vargas, Lama Costa Rica Pocosí, aquí está con nosotros.
Saludos.
All the way from Costa Rica.
Let me see what Arizona. Dave Doom, desde Arizona, is in the house.
Pero mira, la Stephanie Marrero está in the house all the way. Don't let Enigma know that she's here.
No, cállate.
Oh my God. Se enoja Enigma.
Gilbert, Arizona is represented today.
All right, Gilbert.
And Lama, New York City.
New York City's in the house.
Listen, I know what y'all have to do. I just had an event here local, and we hosted, we supported them, the Enforcers, Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club. We went and did a peg roast with them. And one of the brothers immediately saw our colors. They came from Brooklyn and immediately saw our colors. And without asking me, talking to me, he got on the phone with another Geo that is the MTO of Lama, New York City. Nice. They're good friends to the point where they go to each other's kids' birthday parties or whatever. And he goes, "Oh, your boy wants to talk to you." I'm like, "Who the heck is this guy giving me a phone talking about your boy want to talk to you?" He goes, "Yeah, who am I talking to?" I said, "Well, this guy, you know." He goes, "From Lama Station?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "What?" That's how we have friends and family all over, man. So, wow, man. What an honor. What an honor. So, New York City, what's going on? What's up, familia? Stephanie Marrero, there you are. Lama Manassas. Ustedes estuvieron allá with them. And really quick, we go. Tampa's here. Fort Myers in the house. And if I keep doing this, we can do this the whole hour. But you know, guys, Enigma's in the house.
Enigma's in the house. You better be careful with Stephanie, que no te agarren la estación.
Hey, ya dijo. Wow. Well, first of all, again, what an honor to have you guys here, guys. I'm sure, guys, if you guys have any questions, you guys watching us and listening to us, feel free to chat, text them, and we'll gladly ask those questions. And hopefully you get to know a little bit more about our beautiful sister, Alicia, or the Queen of the North. So, Alicia, questions, tons of questions. I got a couple of them that, first of all, how long have you been riding? Let's start with that, right? How long have you been riding?
With Lama?
No, riding. Let's start with that, right?
Well, I started a long time ago when I was in high school.
So you've been riding, don't give your age.
That was just the other day.
I started with Honda 250, I think.
I like a 250. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
the
one
rebels. Yeah,
that
the
it
rebels.
was,
Yeah.
yeah, but I just stopped when I got married, got my kid, my
Okay.
first daughter, so I stopped. But I back to the motorcycle world in 2005 when I had my little bike, the
Okay.
Sportster. The Mario knows the bike,
So,
my first
so
ride.
so that's when you became Lama.
No,
No.
I became Lama 2013.
Oh, so even though you knew Mario, you didn't join Lama
No,
right away.
I met Mario 2013.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I bought my bike
Okay,
in
got it.
2005. But just around
The
the
Sportster you
block,
bought in
a
2005,
Sportster, yeah, Sportster 883. And then I went with Mario to La Cola del Dragon.
Yep.
Oh, the Tell
I
of the
was
Dragon,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, I was so scared the
It
first
wasn't
ride.
just with me. We went with a big group
With the
of
big
Lama
group.
headquarters. We went to the Tail of the Dragon,
Dragon.
and the national event we had out there.
Okay.
In North Carolina was
Yes.
the event, yeah.
Excellent ride. If anybody ever wants to go out that way, the Tail of the Dragon is an excellent ride for everyone to enjoy.
Actually, I believe this is not a sanctioned event, but I believe there's an event coming up called North Meets South. And we're going to be, and it's actually in 2 weeks. And while I got you here, Mario, since you brought that up, there it is right here. North Meets South, and that's April 13th to the 15th. If you guys have any questions, contact Lupagan, BM, LOUPAGAN, B as in Bravo, M as in Mary, at gmail.com. That's he's our so Lupagan is and it's gonna be the Moonshiners.
Gatlinburg.
Yep, and then
It's
they're gonna go up, and then they're
the
gonna
men's
They're
ride.
gonna
Yep,
do
yep,
the Tail of the Dragon.
It's
the
a-
men's
and then
ride.
it ends at the Tell of the Dragon, and then they're gonna end up back in Pigeon Forge. So
Yes.
it's gonna be a nice little ride. It's not a sanctioned event, however, guys, if you guys have the time and you can do it, contact him. They're still taking registrations. There's still rooms at the hotels. That's a beautiful ride.
Yeah, actually, I did it more than once.
Oh, so
the,
it's like
the first time I did with the club, and then I did it myself.
But I want to ask you something, Alicia, for the audience. What kind of work did you do?
I'm a school teacher.
Okay, and just high school, middle school, elementary?
No, early childhood educator.
So early childhood, so elementary or okay.
Preschool since birth to third grade.
Oh wow! Oh,
Yeah.
so you,
We
Actually-
have many school teachers in Lama.
we do
throughout the world.
we do.
And I
Awesome.
make a big lesson, big unit with the wheels. And I brought my bike to the parking lot, and I took my little kids to see it. I started out. I left them, at the horn and draw it, pictures, whatever. It was the whole unit.
That's
and
awesome.
they say to the parents, Miss Antunes ride a bike.
She's
And
a
they
biker.
don't believe it.
She's
They
a
don't
biker.
believe it. So
What-
Miss Antunes, it's true that you ride a bike? I say, yeah. Oh, it's the coolest teacher that I ever had.
One of our
three or
sisters,
4 years old, of course.
one of our sisters here in the Detroit chapter is also a high school teacher, and she's fairly new, maybe I don't know, a year in riding,
Yeah.
and she finally took the bike to school. They're doing summer school
Yeah.
now, and all the kids were like,
Yeah. Listen, the
Yeah,
teachers
yeah,
are so
so-
I worked in a high school, and the kids really enjoyed. I had a lot of rapport with the young students because a lot of them do like motorcycles, and I was
Yeah.
really a fair person. So I had some of the best students around.
nice, very nice. So Alicia, if God, I'm looking here and I'm reading Sturgis, DC, Route 66, Puerto Vallarta, Belize through Chetumal. I mean, these are just some of the rides that you've done. And I want you to, I'm just going to just open the mic, right? And let you just tell me a story. Take us through, like which one was your first long ride like that? What
With Lama?
or with you,
Any
Oh,
long
no.
ride.
yeah, as a
From
biker.
Chicago to Youngstown, Ohio. That was
Yeah.
my first one. I ended up with my hands were swollen. I was so
So was that
tired.
about 8 hours?
About 300 miles.
Yeah,
300,
6 hours,
yeah.
6
But
hours.
then when on the way back to Chicago, we were like at 30 bikes the
Mhm.
time. So on the way back to Chicago, it started raining, and I freaked out. I pulled over, and the road captain came in and asked me, "What happened? Is something wrong with your bike?" I said, "No, it's raining." He goes, "No, go back to your bike and keep going." Oh my God! I was like, yeah. So then Mario and Mike told me, "Listen, if you have good tires, you're not going to fail. Just do this." They gave me a lot of tips. So
And you know what? I've been riding for 20 plus years, and every time I do a ride like that, I learn something.
yeah,
I learned something. I actually learned a lot when you guys came up for the Detroit first year party. I had no choice because I've led groups before. I've rode in big groups, and maybe you can attest to this. I've
Yeah.
rode in groups of
I was
800
there.
bikes.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
In Texas, we did an 800 bike run for autism, and I rode in it as a rider. But when you guys showed up, and I look back, and I got 76 bikes,
Yes.
and Mario's like, "Yeah, you're leading us since you know where you're at." And I'm like, "Oh, it's a difference." So I had to learn. No, what I had to learn, right? What you got to learn is, wait a minute. If my exit is 205, I got to start guiding everybody over 3, 4, 5 miles back, especially when you had a mile-long tail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how different. And you know what? Those advice from guys like Mario, like Mike, and like all these other experienced riders that we've rode with, Roger, and guys like him, and that wow, what a difference it is as a rider to be able to learn from experienced guys that normally I wouldn't have learned if I would have just been riding with my 5, 10 guys, 30 guys.
But keep in mind that Lama is well known as expert caravan riders. We have a multitude of guys that can lead a caravan, starting from the national president, national committee, to the international committee, and many chapters, because we ride in a group. We have a lot of women that can lead. We got a lot of women that can be road captains. We're talking about women that ride more than most of the people that own motorcycles.
I mean, we ain't pointing no fingers, man.
What was the longest ride?
What was the longest ride you've done? Yeah.
The longest ride was from Chicago to Belize. But I went to Chetumal for the national rally.
Okay,
and then
hold
from
on.
Chetumal, we just took a ride to
So
Belize.
there was no trailering bikes. It was
Actually, it was only me and another bike going to Chetumal. But in the road in San Luis Potosí, we meet with another group from Querétaro.
Okay.
So then we stay in their house, and next day we rode together. We were like
Chetumal. Chetumal, if I remember my geography correct, it's in the border. Yeah, it's in the border.
Belize and Mexico.
And
I went on that ride, but I had a little incident, so I had to go back home, fix my bike, and take off again. And I made it there with the chapter from a new chapter that I started in Ciudad Victoria, Mexico. They joined me, and we went all the way to Chetumal. From there, though, I kept going. She went to Belize. I kept going to Belize all the way to Nicaragua. We had an incredible time. And then from there, I went on much further. I had to go to Colombia and Ecuador.
I love our people. You know how we're talking about the rides? Dave Doom is saying, Mario, you got to ride the Devil's Highway in Arizona.
That's something I've thought about, so eventually I will do it. But I rode the Devil's Spine in Mexico, and that's an incredible ride. And I also rode the Highway of Death in Bolivia and the Nevado Cayambe in Ecuador. So I've been around some, but I still want to make – what I want to do is I want to spend a week and a half in the Grand Canyon and photograph the whole thing.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Well,
I've been there. Not on a bike ride.
That ride, it was one of the longest, but from Chicago to Santa Monica, it was like a 2,500 miles.
And that was a Route 66.
You went there. You just did that. You just did that one, yeah, this summer.
Did that with BG from
Actually,
Lorena,
they left
all the way there and back.
Did you guys left immediately after the Dama Ride of Chicago?
Yes.
So they did the Dama Ride of Chicago, hung out with all those beautiful ladies, and a day or so later, you guys took off. And
to Santa Monica.
But you guys were like taking your good old time, and I followed you guys. I followed you and BG on the pictures and everything, and you guys were taking your time, but you guys were doing exactly what this organization does: is touring. You guys were stopping, doing pictures, enjoying museums.
We met a lot of people on the road.
How was the weather?
The weather, well, the Mojave Desert was dry. It was really really hot. When you push the button in the gas station. Like the path of the stove. It was really, really hot.
It was, yeah.
But we made it, eating a little bit of cubes, putting cubes right here.
I actually saw BG put a cup of water here with a straw so she can drink as she rode. She invented that.
We tried the way, to stay cool,
Now, let me ask you, did you ride your bike from here to Puerto Vallarta when they had the National Rally?
Yes, I did.
That's another awesome ride.
So Puerto
from
Vallarta,
Chicago through Mexico to the western edge.
So let me ask this for the nation that you and I have spoke about this a few times, Mario, but for the nation and the world that is watching this through Lama Station, how hard has it been? And talking about your responsibilities as an international press, how hard has it been to be able to coordinate these international crossings, right? Sometimes with, and the reason I ask because I have personally had issues trying to cross a border with colors on.
Yeah. Right? So I never have problems with borders, and we don't really have a problem with the borders. I think that my real responsibility has been to make sure that everybody that rides in the U.S. You have to understand that the U.S. has a lot of motorcycle clubs that are involved in territorial disputes and stuff like that. we did earn the respect of everyone from way back late 70s and the 80s, where my responsibility has really been to make sure that our guys ride free throughout the nation. That if somebody crosses the border from Tijuana, Mexico to California, that they don't have a problem with any MC. That if guys cross the border in Texas or New Mexico, wherever, that people respect us and get along, and they know we're not a threat to them because we're not involved in any kind of hanky-panky business. So I think that one of my biggest successes is that we've been able to make sure that all our guys ride safe. And to do that, we've earned the respect of almost all the MCs and all the other associations. And we earn the respect because we also respect them.
And I was going to say, important. You know, we the fact that we show them the respect, if they want to be in that territorial deal, well, that's y'all. We're not in it. And they respect us because we respect that. That's
well, for instance, next week, at the end of this week, actually, we'll start heading out to Sturgis.
To Sturgis, yeah.
And we've ridden to Sturgis many times, and we've crossed the nation either from California to Sturgis or from New York and Chicago all the way to Sturgis from Florida
Puerto Rico,
and so on. And
Puerto Rico's coming.
Puerto Rico's coming. Puerto Rico just shipped their bikes. They'll pick them up Wednesday. They'll be headed to Chicago, and from Chicago, we are going to a stopover at Rochester, Minnesota, with El Gringo Freddie Faber.
Yeah,
President of Lama Rochester, and that's going to be an annual stopover along the way, so that you're 1 day away from Sturgis. So our thing is that people can ride safe and not have to worry about anything, and that's, I think, my biggest success and biggest responsibility has been that, among many other things.
And I think I would like to probably speak for every person that is watching and every person that wears these colors. We want to thank you for that, because you've actually broken that barrier that normally would have been, and allow people like Alicia to be able to travel internationally. I mean,
I'm always wearing my color.
Yeah, you know,
so
I
need a new.
We can trust you with your colors.
But I would like to add something that it hasn't been me alone. I've just had some really key people with me, right next to me, whenever there's an issue to be discussed or a problem arose, and we took care of it. Mike Ramos, our international vice president, has been one of my right-hand people on that. Another one is Robert Vargas, ex-president of Lama Chicago, who is now retired. Robert Vargas was one hell of a brave, bold guy. My own brother. I know that he's the kind of guy, he would give his life for me. I would do the same for him. Awesome. A few times we put our lives on the line. Then later on, we met with Dave Vargas. Dave Vargas is our international business manager.
Right.
Dave Vargas is probably one of the most bold and valiant people I know. Dave is afraid of nothing, and Dave has also been my right hand in making sure that we don't have problems with anybody. And in recent years, we have Mark and the National Committee, who are now making sure that this stays that way. And so there's people along the way, but we set the standard from the beginning. We want that standard to continue. And for all our members, it's not about being respected. It's about giving respect back to make sure that we respect everybody. That way they'll respect us.
That's what, and you know what, again, because of those people, because of that hard work that you guys have put in the last 44 years, is why we have ladies like you that have no fear jumping on their bikes with their colors and riding down anywhere they want to in the nation or the world, for that matter.
Not even in Mexico. From Chetumal, I rode from Chetumal to Querétaro, and the guys stay in Querétaro, and I back to Chicago myself, because my other biker brother from my HQ, he want to stay doing more rides, but I need to come back to Chicago, so I back by myself with no problem at all.
One of our brothers here, Sergio El Barba, said the Lama reputation carries on to brother clubs and has even played a part in us being welcome in places. Sergio,
true.
Sergio is a Pichukis or no, not Pichukis. I'm sorry, Pulaski. Sergio, are you Pulaski? I believe so. I think I just. So he's talking about him being a brother club, and then our reputation has.
We've had and still have many brother clubs, and they join. Brother clubs are independent clubs that join our organization because they like our lifestyle, they like our parties, and also they like the fact that when they ride with us, it's safe. We respect the women. We don't tolerate anybody disrespecting women in any of our parties or any of our clubs, any of our runs. We have a tremendous amount of respect for women, and people love that. So they come by and they become part of our organization.
Absolutely.
But I did want to add one more thing. In order for us to ride across country like everybody does, we also want to give a big thanks to all the members that if somebody runs into a problem in Ohio or Texas or Florida, there's always somebody ready and willing to go and help out. And that has been not such a big success. It's even bigger than that, because from Vancouver, Canada, all the way to the Antarctica, Argentina, we have along the way chapters all along the way that if you have a problem in Ecuador, in Chile, in Bolivia, in Argentina, in Brazil, somebody will be called and they'll give you a hand. And that's really what
that's
real
true.
brotherhood is
And,
about.
and you know what? Just on the way back from national, somebody had a hiccup, had a minor accident, and other clubs that were already ahead of them turned around to come back. You know, to come make sure that they weren't stranded, came back with a trail. I mean, it was, you know, so it speaks volumes, right? To allow people like you, Alicia, that just love touring, just love riding, just love doing just the wind therapy, and allow you to do it in a manner to where you don't feel like you have to look over your shoulder. And I think that's so. What have you had? And let me, you know, again, you just did DC, right? Just went to DC just this weekend. And of course, you're being escorted by
No,
I was escorting them.
Oh, you were escorting them.
I want to be real frank, and I'm very. Let me be real frank because I like to be honest. The only reason I went to DC is because I had to get some surgery done around my eyes, and I have been out since June 28th, and before that, so I'm recuperating, and I cannot ride a motorcycle until everything heals. And so they called me up and said, we're going to DC. And I says, well, I cannot go because I cannot go on a motorcycle. I said, well, my boyfriend, because he had a serious accident, Leon here had a serious accident, and he has to be in a car because he cannot walk. He's walking on a crutch, on a crutch with wheels. I decided to go ahead with them in the car. So now this is the funniest thing. About 100 miles out of Chicago, I tell Leon, you know what? This is the first time in my life that I go to the East Coast in a car. But even better than that, there's two useless men driving a car and one hell of a woman behind us riding a motorcycle, and it's raining. And she made it all the way there. She makes it all the way back like nothing. And then we stopped about 119 miles from here. We stopped. We said, Alicia, we want you to take a little break, maybe get something. She said, no, let's go. And we took off and went. So really, Alicia, I applaud you for that.
So I applaud
you got
you.
guts.
That's right.
You got guts.
We have to applaud that because you know there's a lot of people, hundreds of people on bikes, and I'm sure you probably put more miles a year than a lot of bike owners put the whole biker life, right? I mean,
she does, and I will say this for our women. When I started riding in '77, we decided that we would include women in our club. I am so proud.
Sergio is from Pulaski.
I am so proud of the women that we have now. These girls ride from here to Mexico like nothing. We've gone up from here to Costa Rica, or they fly maybe to Colombia and ride from Colombia to Ecuador to Peru or whatever. It's really incredible. Our women outride most men.
Oh, some of y'all do. I agree.
That's kind of obvious this weekend, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, it's obvious, and I'm not ashamed to say that she can take advantage because right now we're out of commission. And I told her, you got two useless men
being escorted by a super road captain.
She just purchased a 2020.
Yeah, I just think you know what? First of all, may God bless your bike and the roads that it touches. She's got a 2020?
My favorite bike.
30th edition. 30th edition.
Fat boy, my favorite bike.
30th edition.
Black Mountain.
I like all kinds of soft tails.
Oh my God! God bless the bike. God bless the roads that you travel.
Flies.
Yeah, I bet.
Everybody gives a lot of compliments on that.
Roger wants to know, Mario, who's your favorite gringo?
My favorite gringo is a guy named Turpin in Miami, whose wife was with us in Washington D.C. and I took pictures with her.
Ooh.
I love that, Wendy. You guys are
no bells on that one. No bells on that one. No bells on that one.
I really great couple. I love them.
I do. I love them. Let me tell you. And since we got Gringo there, and his wife rides. Man. His wife they just rode to
Washington.
No, I know that she did Washington, but she also did HQ.
From
she rode. All the ladies rode
with Janet.
Janet rode from Miami to Washington. They've ridden from Miami to Chicago, and they've ridden from Miami to Sturgis.
You know it's crazy because of work. Because of work, our brother Roger couldn't ride. And I believe Janet's husband also couldn't ride.
They both had to fly.
So they both
They
flew.
picked him up at the airport.
The ladies picked him up.
But I want to add something.
I just threw him out under the bus.
To Roger, I want to add this. We take pride in every distinct nationality that joins our club. I'm very proud. I just went out east and met two Vietnamese that are part of Lama.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have another guy in Canada, and I can't remember. He's the only one from his country that belongs to Lama. Gringo is an American.
Yeah.
And we have many Americans, and here he is the president of the Latin American
Yeah.
Motorcycles Association
Yeah,
in Miami. Gringo, you're doing a fabulous job. We're very, very
Real
proud of you.
fine.
He's also now
Real
our.
fine.
Honor,
Real fine.
an honor to have you in charge of such a
He
big
is
group.
also now also our national
Yes,
business
it's
manager.
national, yes, yes.
But Gringo, the Miami
Yes.
chapter in 2019 also won the World Motor Touring Championships. Okay.
Janet, yeah.
Look at that, man. That's some riding food.
They also in Miami have the female World Motor Touring Championship.
That was
Janet,
Baby talk.
These
Baby
guys
talk.
are riding.
Baby talk.
Yes, yes, she's right.
So congratulations to you guys. Look, he puts love you guys. We love you, brother. And you know what? Gringo's actually not that I'm trying to make this segment just about Gringo, but Gringo has actually been one to call me personally, text me personally, and we go back and forth when I have questions as a new president. Because I mean, I've been around for a little over a year now, but as a new president, I'm still learning. And my God, he has never not returned my call. He's never, and that goes with Mark Rodriguez also, Danny Maldonado, all of them. You know, so look, we got people saying hello in the studio.
We got our fan club out there.
We got a fan club.
There's
Some of the Lama Detroit.
hundreds of people out there
hundreds
yelling
of
and
people out
screaming.
there. Troubles, Gringo, Mama Detroit's
I've
here.
never seen so many with beers. Oops.
So, so tell me, out of all these places you travel, and I know you can never pick one, which one was the most awesome? However, which one was also the most challenging?
The one from Chicago to Chetumal.
That was
because,
awesome or challenging?
It was the most challenge
most
because
challenging.
there was I didn't know the road that I was riding, and until I came back, I found out it was on the dearest roads in Mexico. It's called Las Cumbres de Maltrata.
Okay.
Then you go up,
Uh-oh.
and then you go down, and they put a little bolitas because they have to
help you
and
maintain
they
traction.
said they said that like 20 accidents happen a day.
Oh wow!
A day, and I
you-
didn't even know. When I come back, I said, "Oh my God, I was there," but I did.
Thank God you didn't know, because then you would have
Then
been
you would have
nervous.
been panicked. Yeah, you would have
Probably,
been nervous.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really foggy there.
Sure, I
So
bet.
you can't see within
No,
5 feet
when
from
you go up,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
see like the
It's just at the cloud level, yeah,
clouds,
the cloud level.
So you
yes.
can't see.
So that was challenging.
Yes,
Challenging. However, I've been to Mexico. I've been to tons of places in Mexico. Not touring like you have. I wish one day I could grow up and be like you guys, right? Be able to travel as much. But I've been to Mexico and I know how beautiful it is. If you had to pick one, right? One paradise on earth.
Oh, I forgot to say the Espinazo del Diablo. That was the first one.
That was more challenging.
That's
yeah,
the
I
Devil's
forgot.
Spine.
Yeah,
That's
the
the
Devil's
Devil's
Spine.
Spine
That
in
one-
Mexico, and it's from Mazatlan to Durango. That is an incredible ride. In fact,
my
Jose
God,
Isla and some of his group just took
And
a long,
Miriam-
beautiful ride and
Miriam
finished
did
through
it.
that ride
I did
on their
see
way
that.
home.
I did see that. They went to national and they took off to the
Yeah.
West Coast.
I
and
rode
then-
there with 280 guys. Maybe I think it was 2006, one of the rallies. It's an incredible, awesome ride. She's done that.
No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done it the opposite way from Mazatlan.
Oh, you came backwards.
Me and her, we went in through Laredo and we came out through Matamoros.
Through Matamoros. So you
Yeah,
went
we
down and then came back
all the
up.
way down and came out. And it was a good
Yeah,
trip.
but that one, the first time that I did, I'm going to be honest, the first 10 minutes, I said, oh my God, excuse my language. ¿Quién hijos me trae aquí? I was freaked out because one turn and then another one and another, and it seemed like, and they never end. It's like this. I said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But when I made it, I sit down, I smoke a cigarette, and I feel like, oh my God,
Try
I
to
made
relax.
it. Yeah, the second time it was a little more.
Sure, right. You
Yeah.
kind of knew what to expect.
Yes.
What
But it
you have
was
to
bad.
understand is that in Chicago, the Midwest, the Great Plains, what has made our country, America, strong, in part, is due to the Midwest, the Great Plains. The Great Plains are an incredible thing for farming, but at the same time, it's as flat as this table.
Sure is. Yeah.
So if you live in Chicago, you actually, it's like living on top of a checkerboard.
It is.
Then you get out
You make 4 rights and
to
you're back
Puerto
to the same
Rico.
corner.
You get, I remember I used to work with some guys in construction. One of them was Howie Stoneburner and Stoney, and a couple of other guys. They came from Tennessee and Kentucky. And they would always tell me about the Smoky Mountains. Another guy was always telling me about the Blue Ridge Parkway, right?
They haven't
One day
done-
I took a ride through the Smoky Mountains, went all the way through, ended up in the Blue Ridge Parkway, ended up in South Carolina, and I said, "Oh my God, this is just like Puerto Rico."
Sure is. Yeah.
I said, no wonder that the Southerners have so much in common with us, because it was like, right, when you ride in Puerto Rico, you ride on top of the mountains, you ride above the clouds, and then you ride right in curve after curve after curve,
Correct me.
which is a lot different from the
Yeah,
Midwest.
correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes when you're traveling those roads, and some of the seasoned riders who have done all these roads would agree with me. When you're riding, sometimes you have to like two things are happening. You're either riding or you're trying to sightsee, and you can't do both sometimes.
But that's why we call it touring. We call it touring because
you'd rather stop and enjoy.
Tour, what you're gonna do is slow down.
Slow down.
You can slow down. You don't go faster. I know that a lot of sport bike riders they have their own thing, but a sport bike rider sees nothing. All he sees is the road because they're going fast. We don't do that.
Right.
We enjoy touring and we enjoy the mountains. We enjoy the lakes.
Riding in Puerto Rico, and as it is with the Blue Ridge Mountains and South Carolina and Tennessee's and all this. Sometimes as a rider, you have to figure out whether you'll have to downshift, upshift, give it gas, slow down. You have no, as you're turning, as you got cars coming the other way on a very narrow road. That to me, that's the accelerating part about touring and riding. Being able to, just like the Dragon, right? You got like 300 plus curves and 11 miles.
Puerto
Rico, I think, got the Anaconda.
The Anaconda. 65 rights. Wow. How they made that route, I don't know, because it's like right. Want to make a left? No, I don't think so.
It's all right.
There's another 365 rights.
Wow.
And we've done it.
I've not done the Anaconda.
One of the things that I found around the curves is something I took for granted because I was always in great physical shape. But I went with about 200 guys to Puerto Rico and we're riding through El Yunque. And there you're talking about curves and curves. Yeah. And I didn't realize that to them it was a workout. Remember, everybody works for a living and they go home, they relax and eat and all that. Now you're out there going like this, it's like weightlifting.
Right, because there's not a lot of leaning. It's all steering. At the end of the
day, they were worn out, and I understood. Yeah.
It's a long. So those were the challenging ones. How about the most?
Actually, because it was the first. It was the first ride in Mexico. After the San Antonio National, I took off to Mexico. So it was in my bike. It was maybe. Like a year old, so I mean, the not the sport.
It was a little challenging, a little bit. Haven't rode in a while.
It was the first time in Mexico.
Long run like that. First time in Mexico.
Notice how she put it. Notice how after the San Antonio National. So first of all, she rode from Chicago to San Antonio. That's a given. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Then she took off to Mexico. And this is what I'm talking about. Not only her, but a lot of our men and women. We started Lama, and I remember when we took a 10-mile ride. Me, Mike Ramos, and his fellows. It was a big deal. Then a 20-mile ride. Then a 30-mile ride. But actually, as we went on and started going to New York and started crossing the country, and then we started going to Mexico and stuff, we actually motivated a lot of people by creating friends wherever we go. They want to meet each other again. They ride further and further. Where today, going to Mexico or Costa Rica from Chicago or from New York or from Florida,
it's nothing.
It's nothing to us.
Nothing. It absolutely isn't.
And it's an adventure.
I will tell you, and we and I'm going to use me as an example again. Our chapter here in Detroit, we are a prime example of that. Why? When we first came here, I think in our chapter, as we sit right now, we have maybe 5 of us that have been longtime bikers that can, we want to ride, right? We don't mind, long distance, and then everybody else are either people who've been riding for many years but fairly new to the biker world, right? Yes. Now that we're heading, we did Indiana a couple times, we did HQ, we're doing this, now they're like, hey, are we going to do Tampa? Are we going to do Dallas? Are we going to do this? Like they're like these 250-mile runs, 300-mile rides are like, that's cool, but when's the next challenge, right?
Yeah.
We have one of our brothers who last year in September went all the way to Mexico to drop off a bike for his brother. He bought a bike here to take it to his brother, rode it all the way from here to actually he's not that far from Mazatlan, because when he found out Mazatlan had a chapter, he said next year I'm gonna go and hang out with them. So he's not that far from Mazatlan. And
Durango.
I would lie to you if I told you a name right now, but if you're there, Ricardo, let me know. So it's actually our road captain, and now he's doing it again this year. He's taking another bike down there, and he's going with a friend that hasn't joined because it was his schedule, but he rides with us as much as he can, David Jimenez, and he's also taking a bike. So them two are leaving here in October, and our brother stays there for like a month and a half with his family. But now he did those rides. He's like, hey, come on, man, we need to do these long rides. You can't, hey, it's Tuesday. Where are we going? 20 miles up the road, 30 miles. Go grab a bite to eat, come back. Nah, that's not fun anymore.
No, it's not. You know what? Now when they said, actually, I went to Billings, Montana to get my bike. I flew from Chicago to Billings, Montana.
And then rode it back.
Sunday, I talked to the guy. He picked me up at the airport. We made the business. Monday, I took my bike back to Chicago.
How long was that?
1,400 miles.
14.
Billings, Montana.
So as soon as she got back, it needed the first service.
Whatever happened to the 500-mile?
I was gonna say.
Still,
Wait a minute, ain't you need 500 miles before you can take it on the freeway? Or something?
We
we'll
don't.
find out when we take it back.
I found out from Harley when they didn't have time for anybody that I brought my Harley and they were packed at the dealer for so long that when I finally took my bike for the first checkup that they had time, I had 2,500 miles on it.
That's my problem right now.
Well,
Mine's got
I
just
think by now I have more than
3,000.
3,000.
Well, mine has 3,000. I just got that new Road Glide, and
But you know, you brought up a really good point about people that are not members that ride with us. One of the good things about Lama is you're welcome to ride with us as long as you follow our rules
Absolutely.
of safety.
Absolutely.
Anyone can ride with us. I
Absolutely.
sometimes would go out with my Chicago chapter with maybe 70 guys, and there'd be 30 riders with us
That
were not
that are
Lama.
not
We
Lama.
had a great time. They were very respectful. You don't have to be part of our club to take a ride with us because wherever we go, we have fun.
As a matter of fact, we got a local guy from Jorge Rivera. Saludos to Grand Rapids, Michigan. What's going on, brother? So that Grand Rapids is closer to our Michigan
Years
West.
ago, we had a chapter in Grand Rapids, but somehow they never made it.
They didn't develop as much.
Yeah.
So one of the things we're doing this.
I'm gonna say something about my
go ahead.
first ride to Mexico
Yeah, come on.
because it was my first one after San Antonio, and from San Antonio I rode with Jejo from Lama Station and his brother because they went to Guadalajara, so I took off to Durango and they came to Guadalajara. But then I called the guys in Tepic, and that's my first time in El Espinazo del Diablo. And they made me the last caseta in Tepic. They were like a five guys from Lama Tepic. They picked me up. We went to eat, whatever. They took me to a house, one of the brothers. So I just stay here. And next day, another guy from another state, Islan del Rio, they were waiting for me at the casetas.
And I'll tell you guys, one thing that I have learned already. Every time I'm going to Colombia. When? Not sure. I'm working on details, waiting for things to line up a little bit. This whole COVID thing that's starting to spur up in other countries and stuff. So that's slowing it down. But my wife and I have an open invitation in Colombia. And I am told by Juan Carlos Sanchez in Haiti Guillen that if I get a hotel, not to talk to them.
Yeah.
They're like, if you stay in a hotel, don't you dare talk to me no more. We're no longer friends.
But that's
that
probably
brotherhood. And
one of the best things that we have. And in all honesty, I've taken some really long rides. Aside from doing these rides, I've done a 22.5-month ride through all the Americas,
That's right.
a 60-month ride, a 6-month ride. Well, I remember when I was riding for 22.5 months, I had sold my pickup truck and saved the money because I wasn't going to leave it on the street. So I sold it like a year earlier. I put that money away, and I used that for my trip.
Your trip.
And so we always have negative people, and they were talking about how Mars using money from Lama to ride all over the place. I was using my own money. But I really didn't use a lot of money because in 22.5 months, I probably maybe stayed 20 days in hotels.
Wow.
If we were to go to an event or something, 95% of the time, people would take me in and say, Mars.
They wouldn't let you.
They will wait for me, for instance, at the borders. There were clubs that were not Lama. In Costa Rica, for instance, the Caballeros de Costa Rica.
The Knights.
Costa Rican Knights. They waited for me at the border for like 3 hours. When I came, they escorted me and they took me to the clubhouse and I stayed with them. It was really incredible. This goes on and on.
I can't go to Colombia.
Motorcycle groups, the most incredible thing is that it's not only Lama. Motorcycle clubs are so brotherly and hospitable that you are greeted everywhere. I've been greeted by so many clubs, from 125cc clubs to Vespa clubs to highest end CC clubs, and the hospitality is incredible.
Have you experienced that? Have you experienced that on your road?
Well, yeah. Sometimes when I stop at the road just to check my GPS, whatever, any biker who pass by, they stop. Absolutely. Hey, you need help? Can we help you?
And I think that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes, right? Of first of all, the reputation that Lama, and I want to say we, right? Because I'm so proud of being part of this. The reputation that we have as an association worldwide, and how we are known. I'm telling you, I've now that I am with Lama, I've come across places where they go, "Oh, you're Lama." When we first came here to Detroit, we all had peas. We all had to wear a pea, guys.
I gotta wear pea.
We all had peas, and we went to the Harley dealer just to on one of their bike nights. And this guy from way on the other side goes, "Lama." And I'm looking around like, who the heck knows Llama in Detroit? Mario and I have been talking, and Detroit had never had a Llama chapter until we came and decided to be part of this. And so he tells me, he goes, oh, no, I used to be a salesman at the Harley dealer in Jacksonville. When Llama came in, y'all took over.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, all these other salesmen are like, who's the 8 guys that are here? Like, oh, man, they're big, man. What you see? They're big. And he was so excited to have us here. And we're recognized. These wings are recognized now worldwide and respected worldwide. And I'm so happy to personally to be proud of this. So you've done all these rides. So like I read, so you're doing Sturgis next week.
Yeah.
And you're riding it.
Yeah, and I did it last.
You're doing
year
car
too.
for now.
I have to do the car one more
for
time
another-
because I won't be riding a bike probably till September.
So again, for you guys who probably missed it, didn't know, our brother had eye surgery. Our brother Mario had eye surgery.
No, I have to have some surgery on my face for some issues that I had.
Okay.
And,
Near the eyes.
Near
that.
eyelid for one, and the face. But basically, I'm not one of those Facebook guys. I don't
Posting
publish
everything
all
in
my
it.
personal stuff on Facebook because I believe Facebook can say hello, we're doing great, how are you doing,
Yep,
and
yep,
blah blah
sir.
blah. And I often, my pet peeve is seeing so many people putting all the negative things about their life. They broke up with their wife, their girlfriend cheated on them. I don't use Facebook for that, so I never told anybody. In fact, my sister and my son didn't know that I went to the hospital to get an operation. But I'm doing great, and I don't want anybody worried about me. I'm too old to be worried about.
Daniel Batista says, saludos, mi hermano León de Puerto Rico. And then Jose says, no hables tanto.
I also want to add, something about this is to all Llama world. If you're riding down the highway or the street and you see a motorcycle broken down, don't look to see if he's got Llama patches.
Oh, absolutely.
Bikers and motorcycles, we support one another. I don't care what club you're in. If you're broke down, I'll stop and ask. Some guys will say, you know what? No, we're okay. I'm just waiting on somebody.
Yep.
But have this courtesy to stop and say, hey, man, are you okay? You see a woman broke down, be an assistant.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they don't need help, but at least stop. The other thing, truckers are our brothers.
Yeah.
I constantly tell people, I harp on this. If you see a truck and he puts on his signal light that he wants to get on the left and in front of the lane,
give him the light.
slow down, give him the light, let him in.
Absolutely.
Because they're driving this big vehicle cross country. They have a
can't
hard
stop.
enough time. They don't need guys and bikes whizzing by them and making a fool
And
of
upsetting them.
I often see this, and when I'm riding a caravan or by myself, I see a trucker, I give him the okay, give him the signal, he gets
Absolutely.
in, then he passes the other truck up, then I pass him up, they beep at me. And what happens is people don't see your face. What they see is the logo on your back. And then if you ever have an accident, maybe it won't be you. Maybe you give them a break, but somebody in Florida or in California or somewhere will have an accident. Man, I know these guys are really, really good. We're at one with truckers. We respect truckers and we support them any way we can because if we have a problem on the highway, truckers stop to help us.
Absolutely do. Absolutely do. And you know what? I mean, I've actually seen heck, how many truckers do we have? My chapter's got like 3.
We have many.
Our chapter's got like 3.
We have women truckers.
Yeah. So real quick, Lupagan says, what up? Lama Station, hugs to all of you guys. And Alicia.
Right. And Lama Orlando.
That's right. I got a real good question from our very own Dallas reporter, a.k.a. Chuyo, my brother Gio Medina. He says, if a member wants to ride South internationally, how far will a bagger or full dress bike take us before it starts getting challenging due to terrain?
Actually, you can drive a full dresser all the way to the tip of Argentina. Is it the best bike to use? No. But you can do it because you drive at your own leisure. I remember when I was on the highway of death in Bolivia, 2 days earlier, I had met a lot of guys from Brazil in Bolivia. And they found that I was in the hotels. Hey, man, come in with us. And they treated us to a dinner, me and the guy that was with me. And I had a good time. And then I went to the highway of death and I told there was a young Argentinian with me, Ramiro, and I told him, we're not going to stop from the top down because we're only going to do this once. Let's go and start from the bottom up, which is a lot more difficult. Well, halfway up, we're crossing a river, and the guys come from Brazil in their BMW and say, what the hell are you doing up here with a Harley?
Full dressers.
In Spanish. And I
Full
said, well,
dressers.
why didn't you get something for terrain? I said, no, I wanted to ride my own bike.
Sure.
I didn't want to buy a bike to ride here. I wanted to ride my own bike here. And then they took pictures with me and stuff. And I still,
Right, because they got the enduro type, right?
We keep a friendship, but I rode my bike. What I find is for a full dresser, for some of the places I went to, and I have a Softail now with a big dresser-like windshield, looks like a Softail, that the clear windshield on the Road King is much better than that fairing, because when you get out there in that terrain, you need to see right in front of your
Right
wheel.
in front. You
And
can't.
there's
see
a lot
it,
of potholes and a lot of stuff.
So-
You can make it, but you're gonna have to be extra
So
careful.
what you're saying, my road glide is not the best one.
You could do it. No, you could do it.
Well, yeah, but
it's
I
even
lose a
more-
lot
yeah.
because I don't have
Yeah.
like my road glide,
Yeah.
full dress road glide. Not only do I not see because of the fairing, I also don't see because I have the guards, the lower
Yeah.
fairing, the lowers.
I
on the
found
frame,
for
so
me
yeah.
that with the clear fairing, I can see a lot better there, because
There.
sometimes I hit potholes that I swear would broke the frame on my soft. It did not. My soft tail, I probably tested the Fat Boy soft tail more than anyone. I went through crevices that would have bent your rim. It did not. I really put
So
a
check it
test
out.
on it.
Look at what people are saying, man. They're really going to town on this. Where's it at? I don't want to lose it. I don't
Yeah,
wanna lose
because
it.
in my Fat
here we go.
Boy, I have like 85,000 miles in my
Just on that bike.
in
on the first
my,
one.
my
No,
other one,
yep.
the blue one. And like Amari said, I took it to Mexico every year to the national.
So here,
And nothing happened.
Dave,
No problems
Dave
at
is
all.
telling us this from Arizona. He said truckers blocked off traffic when we ran into rain and storm in Texas.
That is correct.
Let me see. Thomas says, yes, truckers. Candace says, we've had lots of truckers help us. And then this guy right here named Pedro Lares goes, Mario, mi pana.
Perrito.
Victor Rivera says, hi, Alicia.
I also want to give a shout out
Hi,
to
Rainman.
Victor Rivera, my friend, my brother. He went with me all the way to Texas and then on to Mexico, and then we went to Florida. And his girlfriend Jackie Monarca in the house. They're waiting for me to get back. So a big hello to you guys.
Hey.
As you can see, I'm doing really well. I think
I'm
I've gained
taking
weight.
care of him, okay?
She's taking care of it.
Hey, Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie Monarca's here. Lama Northwest is in the house. Donnie
All right.
Garcia.
Another one of my favorite chapters.
Donnie Garcia. Candace says que la Goldwings son las mejor. We can start that argument.
I will
today.
not start that argument. I will not argue with that. The Honda Goldwing, in my opinion, is probably the best motorcycle in the world. I have many friends that ride with me. They've ridden a Honda Goldwing 200,000 miles without a problem. For me, I respect them, but it's not my kind of bike. I'm just crazy and I love Harleys.
You love Harleys. Yeah,
But,
Harleys.
you know, the best bike in the world is the one you own.
That's right. The one you love.
Yes, for me,
Johnny Albino.
Hey,
I
¿Dónde está el vino?
ahí está. Saludos y abrazos. What's going on,
Patrice
brother?
Exposito.
Let me see. Hello, people. Aquí está Zaida, dice from Harrisburg, Lama.
Yeah.
Let me see. Lama
Say
Elgin
hello to
también está
Primo
por
for
ahí.
me.
where's it from Elgin?
Elgin,
Lama
aquí
Elgin's in the
está.
house.
Sergio Ochoa.
Oh,
Very good.
hola,
Hello,
hola.
Sergio.
¿Qué dice?
Candace Marquina's in the
Espérate,
house.
If Mario has gained weight, it's not my fault. Okay, dice Jackie Monarca.
No, I gained weight on this trip. I'm finally drinking coffee.
Follow the leader, he's on a Honda, dice por allá. Espérate. Saludos desde Rivera, Uruguay. José María Tuña Amado.
Saludos, Jose Maria.
Hola.
We have great chapters in Uruguay.
Yeah, I was in Uruguay
Some
too.
of the most faithful Lama members are in South America.
Actually, one of our ladies that helps us so much with Lama Station, Sheila.
Shayla.
Yeah,
Sheila,
Sheila.
mi pana.
She joins a lot on Wednesdays because in Espanol,
Yes,
right? In Spanish, she
yes.
joins on Wednesdays, but she also
Sheila.
that intro video y'all saw.
The best asados.
Does she?
Yes.
Oh my
I gotta
God.
go
Well, there's a big competition
Los
between
chorizos.
Argentina and Uruguay and who makes the best grilled beef. And it's
Raymond, ¿quién es
really
Raymond
hard.
Sochet?
Sheila.
¿Quién es Raymond Sochet?
Raymond.
Oh, ahí está.
Raymond.
Hey,
Hey,
Rey, ¿cómo
Rey.
estás, Rey?
Dice, hola mi reina del norte.
Esa es.
Hola, Rey. Te
Ay.
extraño.
Ven acá, ya que
Alright.
dice la única reina del norte. Wow, what an honor to have you guys here. So let's so this year alone, and we still have quite bits to go. How many miles do you think you got already? Have you even kept track? Give or take ish?
Probably by 13,000, maybe.
About 13,000?
13,000.
13,000. Okay. So what's your goal this year? Do you have a goal?
Maybe 20. I don't know because I'm going to Durango to see my friends in Capac. I'm going to Durango to eat tacos in Capac.
Are you flying or riding?
No, I'm going to ride my
Oh,
bike.
you're gonna
But
ride.
you have
Okay,
to
okay,
understand that we're limited because the COVID comes and goes.
Sure.
For instance,
Sure.
we've had some events that we thought we were going to have,
And
and,
then
all of
we-
a sudden, the COVID flares
Like
up.
Brazil.
and
We
and
were
have to
supposed to have
cancel.
Brazil.
We had to cancel the
South
South
American.
American rally in
Yeah.
Brazil.
Colombia.
2 years in a row.
Colombia
We
had
had
to
to
cancel.
cancel the international rally to Nicaragua 2 years in a row. We're going to have it in Puerto Rico this coming
Yep.
year. April 16th
They
to
did
May
so to
1st,
say.
the Lama International Rally World Motor Touring Championships will be held in Puerto Rico for those that want to go. 2023, it'll be held in Nicaragua.
Nicaragua,
Hey,
yes.
And we're riding there, right?
And we're riding there.
We're riding there. We're riding there.
We're riding to Nicaragua. Yeah.
Sebastián Torres Chua. Abrazos grandes desde Lama, Mendoza, Argentina.
Un placer,
hola,
un placer
hola.
ahí. Un saludo para Mario Casas también allá en Mendoza.
A Mario Casas y
Muy
Mónica.
orgulloso de la gente de Mendoza. Acabamos de iniciar un capítulo en esa área que se llama Lama Aconcagua. En la Aconcagua. Es cerca de la frontera de Chile. Yo he ido ahí. Es un sitio.
So another chapter.
Nuevo chapter. Es un sitio espectacular y estamos muy ansiosos de ir a visitarlo.
We just keep growing, bro. Yeah, we just keep growing. You know, when I first came on board in Detroit, I believe you gave me a rough estimate number that we were around 89, 90. He wasn't sure how many. And then just recently, you sent the list on Facebook of all welcoming to new chapters or whatever. And I think I added 4 or 5 more in the U.S. alone.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's one of my goals.
Wow.
I think that's one of my big successes is we are now nearing 100 in the USA. We're over 90. It won't be long. Hopefully, before the year's over, we're going to have 100 chapters in the USA.
That is awesome.
But before we announce it, we have to make sure that if we have any chapters that are failing, we want to make sure that we fix that, because we're not going to call 100 chapters and have a couple of chapters that are failing. So we try to work with them or integrate them to another chapter. But we're nearing my goal of 100 chapters worldwide. We had 235 since then. I started like 10 or 12 more chapters. There's a couple more on board, so we'll give you a count maybe in a month. I'll give you a full count of what we have.
Istanbul, people. Istanbul.
Yes. I did explain that we started a chapter in Turkey. We're looking forward to receiving some of their pictures. The president is Murat Pura, who has been a long-time Harley rider, and we've got some really good people there. We're waiting on them for their photos, but they've already got their patches and everything. The problem is they had COVID really strong there, and they could not meet.
Yep.
One of the problems with the COVID is when they cut down on meetings, you cannot have more than 5 people, 6 people.
Right.
And that means we cannot have meetings. And a lot of us have 20, 30, 50, and 100 members.
That's true.
So that hurts.
It makes it hard.
I was going to an event in Chile. I really have to go to a national meeting in Chile. December 10th, I was going to leave. 3 days before, they canceled everything because you couldn't have more than 8 people in the meeting. So they killed it. And I'm still waiting to go.
And that's the harsh reality of the times that we're living right now and dealing with what we're dealing right now. But God willing and God permitting, we have our international rally coming also. We have our international rally. I also see, if I recall correctly, I see Johnny Albino saying, los caminos conducen al próximo evento nacional, República Dominicana, November. So God willing, Dominican Republic is going to have their national. Again, those things are all subject to change depending on what
hopefully that it cancel.
I hope they can come through with it.
I hope they do.
They're doing okay. Cuba, we had to cancel some events in Cuba because Cuba is getting hit hard by COVID.
Yep.
So, I think that probably in the U.S. where they politicize the COVID, a lot of the states that just refuse to wear masks or just refuse to have any mandates, they're now starting to really get hurt. I don't think it's asking me too much to wear a mask. What I did is I used to wear a mask and gloves. And I remember when I was traveling with Victor, I go to events and people ask, why is Mario wearing gloves? Wow. I wore latex gloves. Why? Because I have a habit that I started for Cuba where I bow to everybody. I would bow to 100 people, but 5 or 10 still grabbed me by the hand and shook hands. So I started wearing gloves to make sure. Now that I have my COVID shots, I'm not as careful, but you still have to be careful.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because
And the worst part is
the
worst part is not that you may get COVID. The worst part is that you get COVID and you take it home to your family, and then your son, like I have a little beautiful niece that loves her uncle. And as soon as I get home, she jumps all over my lap. And my sister, I don't want to take anything home to them. I don't want to go to my girlfriend's house and find out that I gave her COVID. That's a terrible thing to do.
Absolutely.
Some people just don't have the common sense to say, you know what? Maybe I'll just be careful for their sake.
That's it.
If you don't care about yourself, do it for your family.
That's it. Some of us, you may have a better immune system than the next person in your family, right?
Yes.
So you might be able to get away with it with a little sniffles or cold or just a little bit of loss of smell or loss of taste and nothing else. And somebody else immediate to your right can end up in a hospital on an intubator, right? Exactly. We have, these Pulaski boys, I'm falling in love with this group more and more. Look at this. It says, count on the Pulaski boys for making an appearance in Puerto Rico.
We're looking forward to the Pulaski boys making it with us to Puerto Rico. I think that one of the things that I have been successful with is we started our international rally in 1996. The whole pretext of the rally was we're going to visit a different country and a different culture every single year. We get a chance to meet people from other countries and see what they live like and taste their food and see their beautiful places. They in turn get to see a professional motorcycle group.
Absolutely.
And by professional, I don't mean that we're doctors. I mean professional motorcycle riders. Wherever we go, we have never had an arrest. We never have problems with the police. In fact, we even in Cuba, the police escorted us all over the place. In Puerto Rico, we get police escort. In Mexico, we've been escorted all over the country. In Venezuela, we were escorted by the police all over the country. So we never have problems with the police. Actually, not only that, we have become recognized as promoters of tourism, which is really one of our responsibilities. We Lama members and chapters, our responsibility is to promote tourism in our respective countries. Why? Because we're the ones that ride to all these great, beautiful natural places. We enjoy them. We shoot pictures. We put them all over Facebook. And guess what? That makes people want to go and visit.
So now I'm gonna do this.
Hello, Rebecca. Rebecca.
Hey.
She said comment something about Cuba.
Oh, she says SOS Cuba.
Yeah,
we know Cuba's going through some.
That Rebecca's in the house from HQ.
Yeah, that's
Yay.
right.
Hello, sister.
Candice también dice Viva Venezuela. Y our very own sister Paparazzi is in the house from Lama Fort Myers. Let me see, make sure I'm trying to shout everybody out.
Hi, Irene.
Nate Del Toro from Lama Fort Lauderdale is also in the house.
Nate.
Gracias, Nate. Saludos a Prince. Se chamaco rueda con su papá. Little Prince, he
Oh,
rides
yeah,
with
yeah.
his dad everywhere he goes.
They after the national.
Yeah, they did a long time.
ride.
Yeah. I think then they end up in Colorado, I believe, or something like
Estaban
that.
por San Luis, Missouri también.
Yeah, that's on their way back. Yeah.
That has also been one of the biggest honors to me because we now have been riding for so long where the second generation is starting to go in and fill in. For instance, Jorge Soto,
a lot
was
of youth.
president of Lama Mexico City chapter, DF. Today, his son, who started riding with him, I met them when he was like 13 years old. They came all the way from Mexico City to take our ride with us from Chicago to Massachusetts. That was our international rally. Today, he is the national president of Mexico.
Wow.
And what an outstanding young man. I constantly speak with him. I'm proud. So we have a lot of, we have Patricia in Florida. And her father, Exposito, Patricia Exposito. Her father was a member who was originally from Venezuela, riding here in the U.S. with us. He passed away. Here, his daughter is an awesome rider. So this second generation is coming along.
And I mean, God, I think this speaks for everything. And I feel that because there's no. If I'm on a bike, my son wants to be on it. Yeah. He wants to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
I have my daughter right now who is because of she took a job up at the northern part of Michigan in Mackinac, who also is here. Brandy, is she out there? No, Brandy. No, they went out there.
Your son was there.
Let me tell you guys a quick story. My ex. You met my wife here. You guys met my wife. My ex, who is also here now, is now a writer here for our chapter.
Very good.
You know, we have a very, very amicable relationship, and we have our kids. You know, we have a very amicable relationship, and she now became a writer, and that's how. What did he say here?
Everybody, please get your vaccine.
Oh yeah,
that's what Irene said. She's a nurse, and she said the COVID.
And then I
100%,
see Nate saying, Prince and I did over 6,000 miles. He said we went through Colorado Springs, South Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Tennessee, and then back towards Florida.
Yeah, I was following you, Nate.
Let
on
me
Face.
comment on that. You said that your ex is here. She rides.
Yeah, I just seen her.
Hey, what I like here, I want to commend you on that because there's no reason to break up with someone and create all this hatred and animosity that I see many couples go through.
Come on here. You know, this is weird. This is weird.
Oh, it's getting better. It's getting better.
We haven't issued her P patch. We haven't issued her P patch, but she is now one of our new prospects, upcoming Dama.
Who was she to you?
This young lady right here. That is my ex. She is the mother of two of my children.
But look at how wonderful this is. Rather than hating each other and killing each other, and I see this.
I know she hates that I put her on the spot. She's gonna kill me later.
It's an honor to have you with us, but I just want to say this. I see this all the time. And I've got an ex-girlfriend or two, and I don't see why you should kiss and tell and put people down. Listen, if you went out with someone, you went your separate ways, don't put them down.
No, actually,
everybody that comes
Randy,
into your
why
life.
don't you tell what your relationship is with my wife? Best friends.
Very good, very good. I commend you for that, and that is the way to be. Welcome to our organization.
Yep. So she last month at our meeting, she requested her P. She had been an associate. And finally got her bike and requested her P. Said I want to start riding, and now she got her bike. And we put in the order for patches, so we just got them in, so we'll be able to give her P. And really soon, that little Detroit one over there needs to come off because a beautiful Dama patch will be going there.
This one, well, of course, the new one.
Yeah,
mine is one a lot.
Pleasure to meet you.
Beautiful Dama. Thank you, Brandy. All right, she's mad now. She hates me.
No,
So-
that's really good.
So man, people are just loving it. It says, can't wait from a side of the ride to Cicero to West Cicero. I'm sorry. Oh,
They're gonna
let
have
me see.
the university. The
That's right.
7
That's what it is. That's
in
what it is. Yep.
Pontiac, Illinois.
So,
in one of their routes.
They're
in
riding
Texas.
from West Michigan to Cicero. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Rebecca puts Domination. Danny, ¿qué me dice Danny? Brother Taino, you will sleep on the tub tonight. I'm in trouble because I brought.
Actually, that does not happen when you have someone that you really love. You're not looking for anybody else. So you can have a great relationship. I have a lot of women that are friends of mine. Period. I'm not worried about my girlfriend going crazy because when I love someone, I don't hang with anybody else. And when you start hanging with somebody else, it means you're being shortchanged or you're just no good.
So come over here,
Oh
Trouble.
my
People
God.
need to see you. People need to see who Trouble is.
Now this is why I love this woman. This is why I love this woman. This is Taino's wife, and this is what she brought us. Look at what she brought us.
Isn't that
Oh
good?
my God! And I don't want to look.
And Mario, we got coffee.
I don't want to look greedy. I will have some coffee. I don't want to look greedy in front of you guys, but I love this stuff. This is Puerto Rican.
It's a de piña, I think. Pineapple. All right, enjoy, provecho.
Well,
So, guys, we'll get some coffee going. Yeah, we'll get some. We're almost done here, so we'll be saying goodbyes in a second. And yeah, we'll get some coffee going, please. Thank you, love you. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. So you just met. You guys. I know you guys have seen her. You guys have seen her at all the events with me. She doesn't miss one. She rides her own. She was on 2 wheels. She had an accident many years ago with her back. And she's got a spinal fusion, and because of that, 2 wheels it scared her a little bit that if she ever went down, it would cause more trouble. And she was like, "Hun, I want to give up the Dama patch. I'd rather be your passenger." And thank you, Lola from Alamo. Lola, who convinced her, don't give up the patch. Just sell your bike or do whatever you got to do. Get yourself a Can-Am and get you a 3-wheel. And that's what she did. So we got her a Can-Am now, and she has not missed all the events in the Midwest region. We've been there, except for the last one we couldn't make Elgin. But all the other ones we've made it there, and she's loving it. Right, she's back on enjoying the wind in her face, and a couple that ride. Oh my God, we love it. Sometimes around this time of night, we look at each other. We're like, night ride. We'll do 50, 60 miles.
Lola rides a Can-Am.
She does, and
Betty from Baltimore.
But for a minute there,
Hey,
I thought I was
Betty,
gonna have to put her in the back
hola.
again.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to put her in the back seat again. And I don't mind, but I really enjoy just.
Let me tell you something.
before we leave the show,
When I know how to ride, I can't.
You can't be a passenger no more.
Because I take the risk that I want to take.
She's the same way
And
now.
I'm not do crazy stuff. And some
I
guys
will say
they
this. I
try
will say
to
this.
intimidate.
When we went to
I said
Chicago,
no.
when we went to Chicago, she felt a little bit because it's a little different. Driving in Chicago, traffic it's a little.
The traffic is
Yes,
bad.
it's a little different. So what she did, she made it to the hotel, and from the hotel, then she rode with me to the event.
That's good.
Plus, she was drinking, so she needed to be a passenger.
That is
Needed to be a passenger. And as you guys know, if you guys know Taino will maybe have 1, tops 2 beers just to be social with you guys.
Yeah.
I don't drink when I ride, so that's just me. Not
common sense.
Not judging anybody else who does or
No,
doesn't, right?
just
But
me,
I don't.
I had my course with the food and
With
that's
dinner,
it.
with dinner.
Because I
That's
ride my
right, 'cause you're
bike.
right.
But if
So
I sit in the
let's do
hotel,
it. Look at that. Yes, Damas are resilient
I
is
want
what
to
I'm
add
getting
something
here.
before we move on.
Who's there?
I just
Who's there?
want to let everybody
From
know
Brazil.
our newest
My friends,
chapter
what's
in
my-
El
my-
Salvador. We started a chapter in El Salvador. El Salvador Lama is doing really, really well. They're coming along really well.
¿Quién es? Vilma
No,
de Brazil.
What
Oh,
is it?
Candice.
Yes, it's Candice Pereira. Baby.
Oh, okay.
Candice Pereira. You were saying, sir? I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
Yvette.
Just want to let everybody know that our
Ahí está.
new chapter in El Salvador, which is the first chapter we have in that nation, is doing really well. I only need 2 more
What is
chapters
the nombre?
in Central America to
Yvette,
cover all of
no.
Central America. There's one in Belize, and I'm looking forward to starting one in Guatemala.
No, we don't have Guatemala right
We
now.
don't have Guatemala, we
No,
don't have
El
Belize,
Salvador.
but we're looking forward
Vamos
to
para
that.
allá.
Sí, ya hay capítulo en El Salvador, ya.
Okay, Mario. So I'm my chapter has asked me, and when I found out you were coming, they were like, "Hey, can you ask him this? When and how do we go about requesting a national rally in the state of Michigan?"
You can do that.
Mackinac.
This is how you do it.
I'm going to set up a trip today. I mean, this year.
Okay, how do you
To Mackinac.
get
I don't
a
know.
national rally in your country? I mean, in your state. Well, you go to the national rally and you propose a motion that you want it in your state, and then the people in that rally that are participating in that rally, they're the ones that vote on it.
Oh, simple. Simple.
And
So.
but then you can make like a PowerPoint. What we're gonna
A presentation, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's up my alley. You guys know I'm an instructor by trade. I'm an OSHA consultant instructor, so I can do PowerPoint.
But you're gonna have competition because we do have so many other
oh my
chapters.
God, yes.
But we also like to move the rally around the region.
Sure.
Because we have chapters all over. And when we started the rally, I started it in Suches, Georgia, because I wanted the people in Florida to cross over. Florida people were not at the time the best riders, long distance.
Sure.
But they did come to the rally because it was about 150 miles from the border. The second rally we did in another state, but it was only 100 miles away. And I told them by the time we have a third or fourth rally, these people are right to Texas. Sure enough, everybody goes to Texas. And I believe that they'll go to California too.
Steve Constable. Saludos desde Lama, Canada, West Coast.
Lama, Canada. Pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you. We also have a second chapter now. Another chapter in Edmonton, Canada. So Joe Lou is the president. They're doing really, really good.
I've talked to them before. They
had an event. They had an event dated for like last week, but they had huge forest fires in the area. A lot of smoke, and they had to cancel it. Very sad.
Unfortunately, things like that happen. Look at that. Gio says rally in the Pacific Northwest. Sounds great. Hey, all over. Listen, guys, the potential for us to literally tour this nation, at least for us in the United States. However, remember, guys, we are Lama, the English version. We're trying to reach the international side of things. Our brother Jerry Hag is always here. I do understand how hard it is for him because he's 7 hours ahead of us. And sometimes at 7 o'clock is usually his 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I get it. And I respect him and love him for being here and tuning in almost every Monday. So I thank you guys for that. But if we're talking national rallies, guys, the possibilities are endless. This country is so full of beautiful parks and roads and places, and it doesn't matter. Everything has its own beauty. You go to West Texas, you got the beauty of the desert, Arizona, all the way into California. Then you go into the PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, the Great Lakes here, the whole East Coast, Laconia, the Grand Canyon. I mean, it's just beautiful. Florida itself.
Yellowstone Park.
Oh man,
there's a lot of places to go, and this is what we're going to concentrate on in the future. That's probably one of the
San Jose, San Jose, for example.
A great place to ride. California is incredible.
We have San Jose already, and I think that rally, they show up maybe like 800 bikes.
Wow.
But then more people show.
And also for you guys to understand,
I post the picture.
we'd love to have a rally. Of course, I would love to have nothing but a rally here in my town, right? I would love that. But at the same time, we already have a chapter. Lama is being known here in the Detroit metro area, right?
Well, you guys are doing a fabulous job in Detroit.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of the way this chapter is going. And I must add, this chapter and the Minnesota chapter with Freddie Faber there are two chapters that I'm really, really proud of. We also have a chapter in Salt Lake City. They're coming along well. They still got a little ways to go, but they were stuck out there in limbo all by themselves. So little by little, they'll get in on board and we'll go visit them.
But also, one of the things that I've learned from the National Committee is that when they decide where to have this rally, they also want to have it in a place where maybe there isn't a llama, right? Let's think about that, right? Let's say there's nothing in southern Indiana or in Kentucky or something like that, where we can all of a sudden all these wings show up. And it might raise like, hey, who's that guy? Maybe we should start something here with these guys, right? And bring Lama to places where we're not active right now, where we don't have a chapter right now. And maybe one person will spur up, and find out. I mean, how I found out about Lama, I tried to contact what we call the MCOC here in Michigan, the Michigan Confederation of Clubs. And he literally said to me, hey, why don't you look? There's got to be a Latin American motorcycle club somewhere. So I come home and I type up Latin American motorcycle clubs near me. And Lama showed up, and the first video I saw was of Puerto Rico rally, and it was you were being interviewed, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, and I literally spent like 4 hours that night watching watching videos.
Well, we have a lot. I remember when we first started, we had nothing, but now we have videos from all
they're
over the world.
They're conversating with each other. They do that every Monday, which I love, by the way.
The eye of the what?
What is it? The eye of the dragon. Like and the eye of the dragon. What's that? Look, I'm seeing Seattle, Portland, Oregon. My God,
Who's from Portland, Oregon?
No, that was Gio saying that would be nice.
Okay.
He just took vacation up there with his family.
Actually, I want to take a ride out there, but again, the COVID killed it. I want to go to Canada.
I believe that being said, I believe the border's opening up here in the Detroit border is going to be opening up at the end of August.
We'll be open to the public again. In the West Coast was supposed to be open in July, but I'm going to look into it.
Look, Lama Arizona said we're gonna hook up with Lama Utah soon. I'd love to hear that.
Thank you.
I'd
Love
love
to
to
see
hear
you guys
that.
visit Utah.
I'd love to hear that. Lou's still talking about his bike. He said, whenever they have the national 85,000 miles in 4 years on my Gold Wing. he's still talking about his Gold Wing.
1,000 miles.
You out of here, brother? All right, some of our guys that came over to hang out are heading home. Guys, wow, what again? What an honor to have you guys here.
Freddy's there.
Freddy's here. Freddy
from
Rochester, Minnesota.
From Minnesota.
You know, you were talking earlier about the hours, which is a problem for me because I stay in touch with all the different chapters all over the world. Right now in the Philippines is 8:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, so I remember I was talking with some people in India and Pakistan. The hours are at 3 in the morning. Somebody heard me saying, "Don't you ever sleep?" Because I would wake up at the time I needed to speak with them.
Just to have that conversation.
And I remember I was at Walter Ba's house, and Walter Baz is from Uruguay. He's traveled all over the Americas too. But he said, "Mario, don't you ever sleep?" I said, "No, it's that I got to talk to these people, and it's 3 o'clock over there right now, and over here it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and blah blah blah." And another guy I was talking to at 3 in the morning is because it was 4 in the afternoon over there. So that is a problem that I can deal with.
So that being said, think about this: at any given time, these wings could be flying somewhere in the world on the back of a bike.
Well, you know what was incredible
at any given
about
time,
that?
24 hours a day. When you were asleep, somebody's riding to work wearing these wings somewhere in the world. Think
One
about
day
that.
I was sitting at home watching TV in the evening, and I see llama colors on a toy run. I said, "Oh my God, I wonder whether." Then when I looked closer, it was in Mexico. Guadalajara, Mexico was having a toy run at Christmas.
And then they should.
And I was so proud to see that on TV.
I bet. I mean, I can only imagine, Mario. I'm gonna tell you, I unfortunately I lead most of my rides here in Detroit. Right, I'm usually in the front. And every now and then when we're doing this long run, we go to Chicago, something like that. I look at my VP who usually rides, to my right rear, and I look at him and I give him the sign. I'm like, "Hey, man, take the lead," and I get off. And I just sit back and let them pass me, just to because I don't get to see the wings, and it's such an honor to be able to see the guys that we put together and that we're riding together. So I can only imagine when you see, a chapter across the country, across the world.
I feel proud because I designed the whole llama uniform, the patches and all that. I designed it, and I remember when I designed the first set of wings, I went back to pick them up at the place that fabricated them for us in Chicago. The guy says, "My God. We have 2 patches in this short time, and in about 2 months." He says, "We got 2 patches that are probably the most popular patches ever. Yours and another club that was paratroopers." He said, "Would you like to sell these?" I said, "No, this is going to be for our club, and that's only for club members, and that's it."
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I brag all the time now because a lot of people who now know us and they see us, I'm like, "Man, you've seen these colors and you have no idea." Sure. And then I show them the clip of the movie where you're wearing the T-shirt.
Yeah. We were very fortunate because when I worked on that film, I decided to use the llama T-shirt with the wings, and that was in 1984 and the Chuck Norris movie, and I was really proud of that because that's a historical.
No, it is. So they go like they look at it, and I pull it and I freeze the frame, and I'm like, see, we're famous.
Well, and the most important thing is that we have never deviated from how we started. We started with a real positive organization. We wanted to be proud. We wanted to not be a police problem. We wanted to be law-abiding, which is even hard with police because a lot of policemen are not law-abiding. Even though we respect a lot of police. Remember, I live in Chicago. We've seen a lot of police wrong, but for the most part, policemen are pretty good. We support law and order, so we don't have a problem with that. So we're really proud that we've kept our mission going in the right direction since.
And you know what, Mario? I think this philosophy is exactly where a lot of us are. A lot of my members. And again, I can only speak for this chapter here in Detroit, but a lot of our members here in Detroit tell me that if we would have been or would have had any other philosophy, they wouldn't join. A lot of our damas, they do not. They would have never joined if it would have had any other philosophy. We have another gringo right there, and he would not join it. He said, "Look, I love your philosophy."
Let me reiterate on what our philosophy is, and I think that this is what is so important for us. First of all, we promote peace, love, harmony, and nonviolence worldwide, period. We really stand for this. We also welcome people from all walks of life, regardless of religion, color, race, nationality, social class, brand of motorcycle. Everybody's welcome. We don't care if you're African, if you're Oriental Chinese, if you're a European, if you're Latin American, or if you're an Indian, You're all welcome in our club as long as you come in peace and you love to ride.
Greetings from Patagonia, Argentina.
Patagonia.
Y Alejandro Patricia de Talca, Chile.
Talca.
¿Dónde está? Yep, I got him right
Adrián,
here.
un saludo para Adrián,
el
vikingo ahí en Talca.
Yep, Alejandra. Oh my God,
Alejandra
wow.
Patricia,
the whole world
Lama
is tuned
Talca.
in.
Saludos, Alejandra.
Yep, saludos, querido Mario. Lama Rochester still in the house.
Yes, sir.
Sergio dice, which movie?
Wait, Lama Rochester, I will be there this coming weekend with you. We will be there.
Sergio, the movie's called The Code of Silence.
What's the movie, right, Mario?
It's a Chuck Norris movie, Code of Silence. It was filmed in 1984. I was like 2 years old then. I'm 39 now. But it was really a good film, and I was lucky enough to get a part in that film.
And for you guys who didn't know, our brother was a physiculturist, so he was a bodybuilder, and
it was Mr. America.
Mr. America, yeah.
I was Junior Mr. America, Mr. USA. I had a lot of fun. I was Mr. Illinois,
so
Mr. Chicago. But more than that, I always rode a motorcycle.
In the movie, he was a tough guy. Yeah. Still is a good guy.
A drug dealer.
We love him.
We played the part of a Colombian drug dealer.
That's what it was, yeah.
Mira, Rey, what Rey said.
¿Dónde está? ¿Lo pasé?
Yo creo que lo pasaste. What Rey said. Sochet.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
He said, yes, in the hills of Humboldt Park in Chicago, where it all started.
That's where we started, in La Loma de Humboldt Park.
Yeah. 44 years ago. What an honor. What a pleasure. Did you ever think you would get here?
Well, actually, it wasn't my intention to be as big as we are. I just wanted to start a motorcycle organization like we have in Latin America. Like in Puerto Rico, a motorcycle club is part of the fabric fiber.
They just hit
the social fabric of the community.
We didn't lose anything. They just touched the light over there. We're good. So yeah, I mean, but me, I know you started your the chapter in Chicago and in your group, but internationally, was that ever?
No, I didn't decide that until 96 when I talked to the guys and says, you know what? I'm more interested in starting something big. We don't want to sit around in the clubhouse and just drink beer and that's it. And I have the ability to try to do something. If you guys want to support me, I will create something big. And they decided, yes, we'll do it. And we started our first couple of chapters, and it's been history ever since. In 2000, I also presented for our international rally, starting a second branch of our organization, which is the Lama International Motorcycle Association. Because we started as Latin American, and I think in the 70s that was correct because we were going through a lot of hardships in America. Mm-hmm. But by 2000, life had changed for most of us. And if I was starting a club today, I wouldn't call it the Latin American Motorcycle. I would call it the International Motorcycle Association. And I said, I'm interested in globalizing Lama. So we created the Lama International Motorcycle Association, and those are the ones that are going all over the world, but they're all one. We wear the same patches, the same everything. Yeah, but the top rocker in the back doesn't say Latin America. It says Lama International.
And the only thing that changes is that the triangles on the patch bear the flag of that country.
The flag carries the colors of the flag of each country that we're in. And right now we're in 25 countries.
25 countries around the world. Our brother Gio, no, wait a minute. Lama Rio Gallegos, saludos.
Lama Rio Gallegos.
Ahí está.
Ya pronto este mes they're going to have their anniversary.
Yeah,
their 10th anniversary.
That's exactly what we
Rio Gallegos is where I found the real Amazons. To ride in Rio Gallegos, and I'll say this to Alicia, we were just talking about the hardships and how rough it is to ride. For people to ride in Rio Gallegos is almost incredible because the wind is so strong. I was in Rio Gallegos. The television has to be turned up real high because the wind beats against the windows and beats against the walls. You hear that?
How high is it? Is it high or is it just windy?
No, real windy, very strong. The south wind, which is real warm here, is freezing cold there because you're closer to the South Pole. And I see these people, and I'm riding with these girls, and I'm going straight ahead. There's a little group coming towards us. We were going to the gas station. A gust of wind comes and knock the guy flat down. That's how strong the winds are.
Wow.
So I give the girls in Rio Gallegos a lot of credit. Son las Amazonas del motociclismo, las mujeres de Río Gallegos. Un saludo para toda la gente de Río Gallegos allá.
Our brother here says,
Feliz aniversario.
Hey, that's right. Our brother here says, Gio says, I'm so proud to be part of this organization. Thank you, Mario, for starting this dream. 4 y 5 de septiembre, segundo aniversario, Talca, Chile. So, congratulations, felicidades allá, Talca, el capítulo de Chile.
Felicidades a Talca ahí.
That's right. Dice, festejaremos, espérate, se me fue. Festejaremos nuestra oficialidad como primer capítulo oficial de Chile.
Muy bien,
muy bien. So
sí, tenemos 2 capítulos oficiales en Chile donde no tuvimos más de 2 o 3 socios como más de 5 años. Ahora mismo vamos en camino a empezar el 8º capítulo en Chile. Se va muy bien.
Wow.
Y tenemos 2 capítulos oficiales. El primero fue Taque, el segundo es Lama Santiago, Chile, que es la capital. Estamos muy orgullosos de ellos.
Wow, felicidades, congratulations. Lama El Salvador, saludos. Rigoberto Mancía manda saludos desde El Salvador.
Saludos en El Salvador, a Lama El Salvador.
Freddy says 50 degrees in the morning, this morning in Minnesota.
Oh, es air condition. Eso, para nosotros
weather,
es aire acondicionado. Air condition, Minnesota es air condition.
Dice Río Gallegos, dice, los esperamos. Hay asadito cordero.
Hay que ir para allá, hay que ir para allá.
Felicidades a los hermanos chilenos, Kimberly, Lama Station, and hello, Mario. Thank you, Kimberly Marslack. Right? So thank you, guys. Wow. Wow. Qué honor tenerlos aquí. Un placer haberlos tenido. Alicia, un placer. Como le digo, you and Leon were the first 2 Lama members I met outside of our chapter. And now I have you guys not only in the studio that I've been allowed to have for Lama Station, but in my house. You know, so thank you guys. It's an honor to have you guys here.
I just want to say a big hello to all our brothers in the Lama headquarters chapter, because in all honesty, the Lama headquarters chapter is the legendary chapter.
Absolutely.
We did so much. And one of the reasons we were able to start chapters because the guys that rode with me from Lama headquarters, we rode in Venezuela. We rode in Argentina. We rode in Uruguay. We rode all over Mexico. And it is that riding that started in Colombia, in Puerto Rico, in Dominican Republic. Cool. It is that riding that allows people to say, hey, we love this and we want to join.
Tengo que saludar a esta. Espérate. Sí, hold on. María Nieves Aquino.
Yo no conozco a María Nieves. Mi hermana me está. Oh, Dios mío.
Te están siguiendo.
Hola, María, ¿cómo estás? Aquí te lo cuido.
That's my big sister. I gotta be really careful. Love you, Maria. I'll be there soon. Keep care of my little baby.
Ay, sí, cuida la baby.
Sí. My little niece, I love
I've
her.
seen you tagging her on the picture with the family. I was like, I gotta say hi.
That's my big sister.
Lama Pocosí, manda saludos también. Wow, qué honor. She said, boy, you're in trouble. Guys, again, I can't express enough. I could do this for hours and hours and hours. I know you guys also been riding, and you guys need to get a little bit of rest. I hope you enjoy the little thing my wife put together for you guys.
Thank you to
We're not going to finish it on television. We're going to wait till we get out there with a finish it up.
Right off the air. Right.
Well, we're going to give thank you to you and Trouble
absolutely.
and your father for
Thank you.
It's
my
an
dad is
honor,
right.
an honor to have you with us. That join our organization, just like Freddie Faber and so many other guys that have joined and made us, took us to the next level. Because what we're looking for is people to take us to the next level. We're not going to stay here. This is great, but we're moving to the next level. We're constantly trying to move to the next level. And I want to thank you. It's an honor to have you here, you and Enigma, with the Spanish version of Lama Station. This is something that's really, really good for us. And we're going to try to get people in Philippines, in Nigeria, in Germany to be able to come on here, even if they just tape it, so that at the hour we're on, we can use it. We're going to work on that.
And you know, I want them to know that Enigma and I are also working on a segment called Lama Station Extra. And what that's going to be is we're going to be getting with chapters and presidents, and outside of our daily routine, we will record interviews, and then we will play them on Thursdays around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just so that everybody gets to know these chapters that otherwise may not have the opportunity to be as public. I mean, for example, we have Utah. You know, they're kind of on their own out there. Salt Lake City, Gilbert, Arizona, San Jose. They're kind of outside of the big cluster of chapters that we have.
We are moving west. I'm doing everything I can. I have always worked with people, trying to get people in Oklahoma and Washington.
But Freddie and I are
Oregon,
doing. Freddie and I, we're just we of course want to. I want to be able to coordinate it to where they can have more than just the president on screen. You know, so they can have the group with them. And when we'll pre-record it, we'll edit it, and then we'll play it. But I want all your presidents and VPs and officers that are here today, or even if you're just a member, let your president know that I am looking for these interviews. I don't care what chapter you are. I don't care if you're the largest chapter in the U.S., Orlando, or if you're a brand new chapter like Michigan, West Michigan. It doesn't matter. We'd love to have you guys here on Lama Station. Let people know you're there. Let people know about you guys, and of course we'll begin supporting you. We already have plans to go on and visit our West chapter. We've already hung out a couple times.
West Michigan is doing real well. I spoke to them a couple of months back. We finally got them started. They finally got started. They contacted me, and I think they're going to do well.
They had 4 Ps issued at the last at the Northwest. party.
Oh,
At the
wow.
last Northwest party. Yep.
And
yep.
they've grown since.
Yeah, they did. They got
Yeah.
two or three more, I believe, something like that. Maybe 4 more. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
we'll say good night to everybody. Le
Yes.
quiero dar las gracias a todos los que están aquí con nosotros. Thank you all.
Gracias,
Please keep
gracias.
up the good work.
Preguntas.
It is your job to follow up on what we can do.
That's
Good
right.
night, everybody.
And then, hey,
pleasure.
Leon, que digas algo, dicen.
I just want to say thank you for everybody. They took all the time. I'm sorry. Maybe
Oh,
next
my
time.
God.
But thank you, Taino. You've been also an inspiration to all of us.
Absolutely.
Don't forget
man.
that.
I just wanted to find a real cool group to ride with. And
Can't get any cooler than this.
bro, it ain't. I'm stuck, man. I'm stuck. So I believe I'm one of the ones that really believe in Lama forever Lama. I'm gonna carry that for many years.
Word.
No, you were just
Excellent.
Lama forever Leon.
No, right there.
Oh, la de arriba. Okay, Lama
Right,
forever.
right. It says, I got it too, right there.
I truly believe it. I truly live it. I'll speak for my chapter. I mean, some of the guys at first were like, "Man, what's this Lama thing?" And now they're like, "Whoa," right? So we're very proud to be part of this. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mario, for the opportunity. Lama Nation, thank you for putting up with me.
Venga,
Thank you. And as we say goodbye, I want to thank the Lama Nation for putting up with me every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern
Gracias.
Standard Time.
Saludos a todos.
Thank you guys. We love you. And
Quiero,
don't
love
forget, this is who we are. This is how we live. And this is how we ride.
This is how we ride.
Yeah. Is Lama in the building or what? Latin American Motorcycle Association, put your hands up, make some noise for your boy. Kenny Black, the music machine.
What up, brother?
DJ Rara, Lama on it.